All right, and welcome back to the channel, folks. If you are a returning member of my channel, I do welcome you back, of course. Thank you for stopping by and checking out this new addition to the video files here. Today we are going to be performing the contemplative-based magic for the 7th Sigil of Power, known as Acha. Okay, this is in our week 4 of the follow along series that I have been doing for a couple weeks here, obviously. The next one that we'll be doing after this video is going to be the results based magic for Acha. Okay, if that is one that you need to review. That is going to be going up roughly about the same time as this video to the site. If you are new to my channel, of course, and this is your first time here, then I welcome you to the channel. I do always encourage you to hit the subscribe button, the bell notification, and leave a like comment down below. Everything helps out the algorithm for my channel and helps other people find my channel based on the content that I put out, of course. If there is something that you are wanting me to try to get a video done on, let me know in the comment section as well. I will try to get to that as soon as possible. This week I do have a good number of videos that I'm putting out for this week's follow along series. So these are going to be the first two for this week. I do believe I will also be putting out a book review here in either today or a couple days, but it's going to be this week definitely. I think that's going to be it for the intro here. Give me just a moment. I'll be right back, and we're going to be discussing a little bit about Acha and it's used in contemplative-based magic. All right, so the 7th Sigil of Power, Acha. Now, I talked about this in the last video for the introduction video for this week's follow-along series. I'm pretty much going to mention a few of the same things here again, but I will add a few extra comments. As with the other follow-along series, I'm going to go ahead and run over the basic summary of the ritual, how it's performed, and then I will break off at that point and then come back and actually perform the ritual for you. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with this, what I usually end up doing when I perform this ritual is I require you, of course, to input the visualization that is necessary for the success to the ritual. I will be pronouncing the word of power for you, so you don't have to do that in case if you are having problems or difficulties pronouncing those words. Also, this is also good to kind of follow along and get an idea of how the contemplative-based magic ritual is performed, as well as the results-based magic. That way, when you go through and you review the summary as I explain it, you get a better idea if maybe you've missed some steps. Then that may be why you're not getting the results that you're wanting. So the other reason why it's also good to go ahead and follow along with this is that these particular videos are based on my selection of sigils that are one should be using to reprogram themselves if you have any type of negative beliefs around money and success and finances, because that is one of my big topics on my channel. A lot of my subscribers know that I am very, very big on financial magic and money magic, and I want to help you have better success with those types of rituals if that is obviously an area that you are wanting more success in. So, do follow along with me there. All right, so the seventh sigil of power is Acha. It, as stated before, it shows us how we are related to other people and the situations in our life. Some of these connections are vital to our needs, purposes, and even our survival. Using Acha helps us to see what we can release and what we need to hold on to. Identifying these problems and then learning to let go of the burdens that are no longer required or that no longer serve you. Now, the second week introduction, I did mention how some people do have fears associated around money and success, as well as fears of failure. Okay, so using Acha in contemplative-based magic, we are able to recognize this connection to the fear that we have to those areas, such as, the connection of fear that we have to success or failure or having too much money or, something in that respect. Okay. Now we have to then focus that connection during the focus on that connection that we have for that fear, for the money or the success or the failure during the contemplative meditation process, and then we can more or less understand why we have that connection that we do in relations to that fear. Now, Acha generally is used to understand the connection we have to people, as well as the connection we have to love, the connection we have to hope, as well as the connection we have to fear. Those are the contemplative-based magic rituals that Acha can be used for. Acha does translate to understanding connections. Okay. Now, of course, as I just stated, we are simply focusing on the connection to fear, the fear that we have to success and failure and money and those types of areas. Excuse me. All right, so let's go over the summary in the contemplative-based magic that we will be doing here. Okay, so first and foremost, we want to make sure that we have a place that we can remain undisturbed for the ritual process. Normally it will take 10 to 15 minutes. Some people may require just a little bit more time, maybe around 20 minutes, but 10 to 15 is pretty standard, okay? We want to, in the second part of the process, to begin by acknowledging the state that we are in currently, and then focusing your acknowledgement on what it is that we are going to be contemplating. Okay, when we do this, when we're looking for what we're looking to acknowledge during this contemplation is we are looking at needing to understand why the need for change is so great in our life. Okay, so in this case, we're looking to understand why we have a connection to fear associated with success, or the connection of fear we have associated to failure, or the connection we have to fear associated to money. Okay, whatever that is. Now, if you need to address all three of those areas as well as additional areas, you are going to have to perform this ritual those additional times. So if you need to do a ritual on understanding that connection of fear to money, as well as your connection of fear to failure and your connection of fear to success, that means you will be performing a contemplative-based magic with Acha 3 separate times, one for each of those instances. Okay, so you want to understand that going forward. Okay, in step 3, you're going to scan over the Hebrew letters and shapes associated with the sigil. And the scanning process is done right to left. I will have those Hebrew characters up on the screen showing in red. Okay. You can say the word of power out loud if you like with me. However, as I did say before, I will be pronouncing that for you. If you like to, you can also say it silently as I read it out loud. No, I generally end up reading the word of power out a total of 5 times during this ritual process, just to give you an idea. And there's usually a break, usually about a minute or two, roughly in between each pronunciation. Now, in step 4, you need to continue to scan over the Hebrew letters and shapes while saying or reading the divine word of power. And while you do this, you need to keep aware of the question that is on your mind. Again, that question being your connective fear that you have to, whatever that is, failure or success or money or what it is that you're contemplating. In step 5, you want to make sure that you're making room for new thoughts in your mind while staying relaxed. Okay, and in step 6, you want to continue to scan letters and observe your thoughts and your feelings. And usually after that point, I provide a brief period of meditation, somewhere around 4 to 5 minutes, towards the end of the ritual process. That way you have a little bit of extra time there to spend during the meditation. And then the ritual cuts off at that point. Now, if you do need to have a few extra minutes there, you can go ahead and pause the video at that point for that. Okay, and as a note here in step 2, when you are looking to focus your acknowledgement on the area that you're going to be contemplating, make sure that you come into the ritual understanding what it is you're going to be contemplating. You don't want to be spending too much time thinking about that, as time ticks away. Of course, if you haven't come into the ritual at that point, you could go ahead and pause the video at that point, think about what it is that you want to contemplate, and then press play again, and then move on from there. But just understand that when you go into the ritual, you want to make sure you already have what it is you're going to be contemplating during this ritual process. All right, and that is it as far as the ritual process goes for contemplative-based magic. Now, that you may end up getting some new insights over the next couple days. Some magic does come through to your consciousness, and other times you may get like an aha moment, or something related to the ritual will be mentioned in conversation or something like that. Just understand that it may take several days for some of these root causes to the ritual to come to the surface for you to be able to acknowledge them and then address them at that point. Of course, if you do feel inclined to repeat the ritual process with this sigil for several days, or you can do it daily, that's totally fine too. Obviously, the more times that you perform the ritual with this particular sigil for contemplative-based magic, the deeper the insights will be as you get more connected with the sigil of power. So I'm going to go ahead and break here for just a moment, and then when we come back, we will actually perform the ritual here and get going. And give me just one moment. Okay, now that you found where you're going to be performing your ritual at, I want you to get comfortable in a seated position, preferably. And just begin to relax a little bit and take in a deep breath. And hold it and let it out. Let that tension drain away from your neck and your shoulders. Relax and take another deep breath in. And out. Let tension drain away. Relax. Let it move down your back and through your hips and your thighs. Move down through your legs and out your feet. Last deep inhale. Hold. And let it out. I want you to begin by acknowledging the state that you are in and focus on your intent. Focus on your connection that you have with the fear related to success or failure, whatever that connection to fear is. I want you to think about that. Spend just a moment longer feeling that, thinking about it. How does it make you feel at this exact moment? How does that fear make you feel? On the screen, you're going to see some characters in Hebrew. This is the sigil that you're going to be focusing on. I want you to scan those Hebrew letters, the Hebrew characters, and the shapes associated with the sigil. Scan them from right to left. Just take in the shapes. Absorb them into your subconscious mind and relax. Acha. Continue to scan over the Hebrew letters while thinking or saying the divine word of power. As you do this, make sure you remain aware of the question that you are contemplating. Acha. Make room for new thoughts in your mind while staying relaxed. Continue looking at the Hebrew characters from right to left. Continue looking at the Hebrew letters, remaining aware of your thoughts and your feelings. Be still. Be aware.